All right, so this is a lesson on the song called Already Gone by the Eagles. A very distinct piece that deals with the blues shuffle. I think we went over the blues shuffle a little bit before, months back, but I'd like to revisit that because it's going to be very important for a guitar player to learn the blues shuffle because it's in a lot of different pieces. Especially since a lot of people like the classic rock, any band you name it, Led Zeppelin to Rolling Stones to ZZ Top to the Eagles, have done kind of some blues shuffle in their songs. A lot of the music is based on blues. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to skip the beginning intro for now. We're going to make this as an easy lesson for you to start on the shuffle, but not only that, but start off on the beginning section. So the beginning section is obviously in the beginning of the song, you hear this, all that kind of stuff. That's coming later. That's kind of difficult. And I want to just skip that lead part for now. And we're just going to get into the first little riffage that goes. So a lot of times transcripts, they're all like, they all have their own way of writing these things out, all the tablature. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to do it. I have the tablature here. And it's kind of subjective. Sometimes people like to basically go over and slide over. So, boom. And sometimes people will like slide over like that or go, just kind of slide your fingers over. Keep the finger down and go to the 5th fret. So, and then what I'm doing is hammering on. So I'm going. Now they say do a slide there. It's kind of like, I like hammering on better. It's just much easier than to do a slide from that point. So we're going to stick to hammer on. We're going to go 3rd fret, 1st finger. And then we're going to go and slide this finger down and we're going to go hammer on 5, 7. Like that. So you hit the pick once and hammer on. And then what you're going to do is you can take that 1st finger and come up to the 5th fret. And then what you do here is you do a half bend, your 3rd finger on the 7th fret, this finger also helping out, and you go, and then back to the 5, which is the 5th fret on the 8th string. So it's going to be hammer on, 5th fret, 1st finger, and then 3rd finger and that middle finger, bending it down, and then going to the 5th fret. So we're going. That's that first riff. Work on it, keep on work on it, doing that muscle memory thing. Down, down, hammer, down, down, down. So I'm doing all downstrokes. Now the next part just goes up an octave. So we're going to take it from the 3rd on the 8th string instead of the 3rd fret on the low 6th string. So it's going to be, and then we're going to slide that finger down and we're going to go to 5, 7, hammer on, and then 5 here on the 3rd string. 4th string, 4th string. And then I'm going to do the bending down like this. With those 2 fingers in tandem, that's going to be the 7th fret. And then as I bend down and I go back to the 5. So just 1 octave up, it's 1 string up, and you're doing that same pattern as you did before. So all together, both parts would be like this. And all downstrokes. Now the next section is the shuffle. It goes into a shuffle, and what I'm going to do is I want you to practice the shuffle. There's one way of looking at it as the tablature shows, and there's an easier way that I've actually incorporated because it allows me to sing and play at the same time. Now this way they're showing in the Eagles transcript is starting off here, and that's basically where I would start. I'm going to do a shuffle like this. I think I showed you this before, where you have your first finger here. You're playing basically generally a power chord. This finger's nice and flat. First finger's there on the 3rd fret. This finger here on the 5th fret on the A, that's the E. And then I'm going to go back and forth with my pinky. I'm going to go down, down. That's the beginning. So it's, and I heard somebody talking to us the other day, right? That's the beginning part. Now, there's 3 guitar players that play in this band. One guy is doing this next part like this. But I feel it's easier just to take this form and then bring it down to this position, which is the 5th and the 7th fret. And you're doing that same shuffling shape. So you're going. And then you bring it down to the 3rd fret, that same shuffling shape. And I'm doing downstrokes. So all together, we have those 3 different chords. We have the G shuffle, which is the G chord shuffle. It starts off on G. Then we have the next one, which is D. And then we have C. So all together, when you're playing this along with the tracks or with, within and singing with it, it's going to be. It's basically what I want you to work on, that beginning riff thing in the beginning, and working on shuffles, because shuffles is going to be very important. We can go over more of them as well. I'll send you some insight on that in a homework email. But work on that shuffle. Down, down, down. So when he's singing, well, I heard some people talking just the other day, and they said you're gonna put me on the shelf. Let me tell you, got some news for you, and you still find out it's true. And you'll have to eat your lunch by yourself, 'cause I'm ready gone. That's that beginning leg. That's what happens when the guy goes into the chorus. He goes, 'cause I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song. So you get the idea. So that beginning riff, boom, 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 work on that, 2 octaves, and work on the shuffle. And then what we'll do is we'll work on more of the other stuff, the intricate stuff later. But that'll be a good start. We'll see you next week. Have a good day.